Had a comment in my last video, someone asking if I thought that Bitcoin was in a bear market right now. I don't think so. You can get technical and they can say that Bitcoin has dropped, such and such amount. That's a 36% dump, so it's in a bear market. In my opinion, what you really want to watch for is if it sets a new low. See this here? This top white line. Let's zoom in on that. This is the daily chart of Bitcoin, last 3 years, almost to the day, like 3 years and a week. This specific chart on Femex, BTC, USDT pairing, 74,563. In my last video, I freehanded. I didn't draw a line here. I was freehanding this area here as a possible bounce. See the bottom of all these wicks and candles here. I was saying about 80,000. It's actually a little higher than that. I was just freehanding. But look at that. Look what it went ahead and did. Look at that. Boom. Just almost perfect off of that. That is actually at about 80,600. If it breaks below here, this top white line, 74.5, what that indicates, what that says is that's a new low, right? So when you want to talk about bear markets, now I see Bitcoin as kind of a platypus market. That would be my opinion if you want to use the word bear market. 74,563. If it sets a new low, see this over a little over 3 years. See how it has never set a new low on the dumps and crashes. See market here, boom. Here, right? It came down, matched it here, but it's not a new low. Now, maybe it comes down to 74,520 and it's a $43 lower. That doesn't count, right? If it comes down below and starts closing some candles down there, hourly candles and stuff. This is the daily chart, like I said. But see how this is what you want to look for, right? See how it's never set a new low, right? This one here, on the big scheme of things, this big red macro channel I got here. See how it's never set a new low? Now it does set, like you could say, well, this was a low and this low came down below it. Well, yeah, but the one you want to really look at is this one back here, right? So obviously it's set a new low compared to some of these other candles back here. But the one you want to look for is 74,563. That would be a new low. And that would say that it's a bear market in my, if you want to look at something. So why am I making this video now? Look at this. Look at my chart. Look at what's going on right now. If you watch my last videos, I was saying, in the comments, I told that person, you want to watch the bottom of this red channel to see if it can reclaim back up in there. And I would say if it does, that's what you would call a bull market, is still intact. A lower low would indicate, if you want to use the word bear market. But these white lines, not these three here, not these two here, but the white lines here indicate where Bitcoin comes down and it doesn't set a new low, but it bounces off. Like this one bounced off here. They bounce off the previous ranges. And so what it hasn't done in years, go back and look at my last video. I'll explain that. I don't want to get into it now. I'll make this video too long. Basically, I was looking for it to bounce here, right? It hasn't done this in years. This crash coming down. It hasn't, in the last 3 years on this chart, it's never done this before. See, it came down below the top of the previous range. Boom, right? By $8,000, as a matter of fact, it came below it. And so now this could still be a fake breakout. That's a common thing for Bitcoin to do out of these channels. But it is worth noting, it's never done that in the last 3 years, and probably longer. I haven't really looked, but on this chart in the last 3 years, it has not done that. It did that here. So right now, what is it doing? It's literally right back up there testing that line. See, this is important stuff. And sometimes on my chart, the way I draw these, there's these intersections, and look at this. It's almost pinpoint accuracy. It's not only testing that white line is the top of the previous range, right? I was saying it's not only testing to try to reclaim that, it's also trying to get back up into the bottom of that red channel at the exact same time. See that? Sometimes there's these intersections, the way I draw these charts. I just find that quite fascinating, right? And as I make this video, it's actually trying to do it right now. The white line is 88,748, and the price of Bitcoin is at 88,766,771. So actually, as I speak, it's doing it. And there's a little tidbit of a wick where it looked like it may have ran up there earlier. Right now, it's actually back above the white line and in the red channel. Let's zoom in. This is what I was saying. If you want to see a continuation in the bull market, you want to see it reclaim this area. You'd want to see the daily candle close up in this area, and then of course start, come up here and do this and get back up in there. Why is it? I'm too zoomed in. But yeah, there it is. That's no coincidence. I thought it was just cool that it's testing both those places at the exact same time at the intersection where they intersect, and so that's it. If you ask me what I think, what my gut, my hunch is telling me, my hunch is telling me this is a fake breakdown. It's a fakey fake, right? It's a common thing. Like, I drew this little extension on the bottom of the red channel, right? This little guy here to wrap in the wicks previously back here on the left. See these guys, right? And it actually came down through there. And so it's testing to get back up in there now. So what you really want to watch is, well, I mean, if you just want to ask me what's my gut feeling, I do think this is going to come back up here and reclaim this. I do think this is what we're probably looking at, right? And I could be wrong. It just needs the first indicator to watch is it going to fail right now? If it fails today, maybe it does it tomorrow, or who knows. But I think that scribble I just drew right there looks pretty good. That's a common thing to happen. Now, it could just kind of tease us for a while. I just kind of do one of these, right, and then come back down. But who knows for sure. But I do think this will reclaim. If it doesn't, you just want to watch 74,563. And I guess I'm trying to say the same thing different ways now. That's it. The things worth noting is the first time in years Bitcoin broke down below the previous range, right? But it did not set a new low. In my opinion, it's not a bear market until it sets a new low. That would indicate that if it sets a new low, that would indicate that it could be starting a new downtrend. But I do not think that's happening. It could, but I don't think so. There should be enough froth and pepper and excitement that does return, knowing that Bitcoin was at $126,000, and now people might see it in the low 80s. That should be a good spot to buy on the spot market. If I was in right now, I'm out right now. But if I was in, I would be buying on the spot market right now. Right, this is not where you want to sell. Right, if you bought in, if you bought in high, right, you don't sell down here. Right, it doesn't matter how scary it is. Just hold. You'll be all right. It'll come back eventually, even if it does set a new downtrend. Boom, boom, here. You'll be all right. It just might take a while. Hold. Never invest money that you need next month or next year on the spot market, because Bitcoin's a volatile little booger. All right, later. Have a good day.